Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Fajar Nur Rahma. Here I will explain managing Islamic education to overcome juvenile delinquency. First, the concept of Islamic education strategy. In general, the strategy can be defined as an outline of policies to act in order to achieve specific target in line with learning. Strategy can be defined and common patterns of activities of teacher student in the relation of teaching and learning activity to achieve the object that have been outlined. In the implementation of Islamic education process, particularly in terms of teaching and learning, strategy development itself also be considered in participle of text Islamic education in anticipation of the science and technology development. First, motivating the creativity of the student towards the development of science and technology itself, where the values of Islam become a source of reference to education the skills of the student to utilize science and technology products for the welfare of mankind in general and Muslim in particular. Third, creating a strong link between religion and science and technology, as well as a close relationship with the scientists who hold the authority of science of technology in their respective fields. Next, instilling the attitude and extensive insight of the future life of mankind through the ability to interpret the religious teaching based on the pure source, and those are contextual to the future of human life. Next, juvenile delinquency definition. Juvenile delinquency is behavior of action that are asocial. They may be violation of social norms and prevalent religion in society. According to M. Gold and J. Petrono, juvenile delinquency is the act by someone who is not an adult who intentionally violates the law and is known by him that if the act is done by the officers of the law, he could be punished. Considering the above definition of source, everyone agrees in defining juvenile delinquency as abnormalities and in behaviors and action of teenagers who are asocial and constitutes a violation of social norms of law and norms of the religion developing in the society. Next, the form of juvenile delinquency. Juvenile delinquency, according to Nisinggih Gunarsah, can be divided into two major groups. The name is 1. Delinquency who is immoral and asocial but is not regulated by law, so it cannot be classified as a violation of law. 2. Delinquency who is unlawful in accordance with the applicable law. It can be classified as unlawful applicable action if these are committed by an adult. While delinquency that is considered unlawful resolved tort legal and can often referred to as a crime. From the view Islam, the juvenile delinquency is not distinguished between ordinary delinquency, which are not entangled with the law and which can be categorized as a violation of the law or criminal. Next, the strategy of Islamic education. In the implementation of Islamic education in school, there are 6 strategies of Islamic education in school that should be done by teachers, namely 1. Existence and willingness to learn. An experienced teacher does not encourage his student to learn something beyond his ability. He also does not pump knowledge to their brain, knowledge that is not in accordance with their maturity or their prior knowledge. 2. Arousing the interest of the student. The teacher must maintain the class rule and arouse the student interest to accept the lesson. 3. Establishing the good attitude and talent. There are many kinds of activities to be undertaken by the student in learning, where the teacher can try to generate interest and needs as well as establish their various talents and attitudes that are part of their personality. 4. Setting the teaching and learning process. Setting the learning experience as well as activities that are in relationship with is major factor in the success of the learning process, because it will facilitate the student to gain to experience and use it. 5. The transfer of the learning effect and its implementation in real life to success the learning process and make it useful in life outside of school. 6. Human relationship in the learning process. The learning process can run smoothly or help depend on social relationship in the classroom between teachers and students, as well as among the fellow students that is suitable to the social situation that stand out in the classroom. The education strategy is essentially a chance or a to utilize the factor of force to secure the objectivity of education to be a safe track planning and direction in the operation in accordance with the circumstances existing for the strategy to overcome juvenile delinquency. To face juvenile delinquency also it is need for action, namely 1. Preventive action, namely all action aimed at preventing the rising of nocturneness. 2. Repressive action, namely all action to suppress and restrain juvenile delinquency as possible or impede the rising of more severe delinquency event. 3. Corrective action or rehabilitation, namely all action to improve the result of mischievous deeds, especially individuals who have committed such as teenagers are very large potential of the nation and of course have a strategy and decisive role both in the present in the future. The potential and the mature role would only be empowered verbal language. If those do not fit the existing order, it may be great potential will be wasted, but to themselves and the interests of the nation as well. Teenagers or youth are will experience the challenge internally and externally. The challenges are always to be faced, even those may sometimes require some sort of resistance against themselves, a situation which seems to process naturally, but in fact they are in difficult social environment configuration to decide its deadlines. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.